Ronioni. Almost got herself into trouble, but good enough to get out of it. Well, they're really tightening up the midfield, aren't they, Japan, as you said? Taking this game right up to Argentina. Kamori once again. Come all the way across to Miura, Japanese captain. Poor option in the end.
And whilst Japan didn't win the game, their first outing against China, they lost that game 3-0, they impressed me with their endeavour and their work rate. Now, they have rattled the Argentinians. They've had the majority of possession. They've had a penalty corner. I think that Argentina, at the moment, are a little bit rattled.
Kato. Once again, fair effort from Miura, the captain. Ronioni to Aishaga once again. Just inviting the Japanese to come towards them, open up some gaps. A chance for Argentina. Make enough of that. Nakagawa rolls it out to Saito. Saito gives the ball at the side. Miura. Oh, well done. Miura did well. Released it to Monomoto. And once again, just too far for Komazawa. Rika Komazawa. Aymar, always dangerous. Shot on goal has gone straight in.
Arrondo, I think it was.
She's just come on the ground. Ines Arrondo, the 114th game for Argentina, and if I'm not mistaken...
Receives the ball on the right-hand side. Pretty tight angle, just a nice, crisp, firm shot past the pads on the left-hand side.
No idea that's her first international goal.
I think you're absolutely right.
Good time to score it. 20th minute of the first half. Arrondo, the Japanese goalkeeper, and indeed the entire Japanese defence probably should have done a little better than that.
Very impressive, and it's the first time Aymar's really come into the picture. She hadn't had much of the ball up until then, but it shows how dangerous she really is. Got hold of the ball in space, made a nice pass, and then it was finished off by Arrondo. Japan with some work to do. We always figured it was going to be that way when the first in the world, Argentina, meets the 11th ranked nation. And again, they scored on a counter-attack. They hadn't had much possession of the ball. The Japanese had had most of the play in their attacking half. The Argentinians get the ball, go down their end, score a goal, and now they're 1-0 up.
Trapping out there today. It's Ronioni. Margalot. Booyah. Stepnik. Ivan Stepnik. Veteran of 2 Olympic Games. Got some fair experience in their team, haven't they, Argentina now?
They certainly do. And Stepnik, in fact, probably one of the lesser lights in terms of being known by the Argentinian public and the rest of the hockey world, but I really rate her. She's very solid in the midfield, always makes a good pass, really strong, hard to get past, and probably is a little underrated.
Consistent pressure on the Japanese defence now from Argentina. Kato asked to take it again. The Argentine players weren't far enough away. Marina Russo waiting to come on for Argentina. Saito just tapped over the sideline in front of her. Margalot for Argentina wins the free hit. Waiting for Aymar to come to her. Just working the spaces.
And the conditions today are a lot cooler than the players have experienced in the previous couple of days. You would expect the game to be run out by both sides. They should be pretty fit coming into this tournament. They knew the conditions were going to be really hot and humid. I would expect the Japanese to be able to run the full 70 minutes. So I think it's going to be a pretty close encounter.
Actually start to see Sergio Vigil. You see the lighter patches on that pitch on your television monitor. That's where the pitch is drying out. And it will dry out first right through the middle. Now, the effect that has is it actually makes the ball harder to handle close in.
And especially on the penalty corners when players are trying to push out from the back line. If it's really dry on the back line, often you fluff the push out because you can't get your stick behind the ball, and the water helps to move the ball quickly over the surface.
Kato. Wayo. Nakagawa now. The Wayo again. This is the young lady who played in the Australian National League for the Tassie Van Diemen's. Burkhardt. Nice turn by Aymar. Very skillful, isn't she?
She can turn players inside out. She's very agile, can move from one side to the other, turns on a penny and bamboozles the opposition.
Panina Aneto, silver medalist from 2000, just pushing a little too hard in the back of Yukari Yamamoto.
Very physical player, always in there, pushing, shoving. Very hard to get the ball off.
Yamamoto. This ball going nowhere. Happy to work it across the back. Shikamura. Shimi Awayo. Yamamoto once again. Just can't get it through the midfield with any great purpose. Di Giacomo has come on for Argentina. Marina Di Giacomo. Rognoni, great ball. Ochoga had come a long way up, but was never going to catch that. Kimura can't keep the ball at the side. Just under 10 minutes remaining in the first half. Been a bad performance all up by Japan so far. Margalot fighting with Komazawa and winning that battle. To Rognoni. Maggie Ochoga, captain of the Argentine team. Rognoni once again. Giacomo. Margalot. Touched on by Guglia. To Giacomo, and just cut out by the Japanese defence. Mori once again winning it for Japan. Kato. Mori touches it forward. Chileans need to back off the 5 metres. That'll now be advanced to the edge of the circle. Kato. Chance. And it's gone in. The final touch came from Rika Komazawa.
And they deserve that. They've been probing all day. They've pushed their forwards forward. They've been in the circle having a go. And this is well deserved. It was a bobbling ball and Komazawa just knocks it in.
Well, Sake Morimoto tried the first one. You can't blame the goalkeeper for that. But Komazawa, Rika Komazawa, would be extremely happy with that result. Only her 16th goal in international competition. This is her 47th game for Japan. So all of a sudden the world champions and in some eyes Olympic favourites find themselves with some work to do. With just under 8 minutes remaining. And work they did. End of the circle, penalty corner, straight at the other end.
And how often do we see that? Goal scored, the team relaxes. The Japanese girls obviously did. They allowed Argentina in, and they've got a penalty corner at the other end with an opportunity to go 2-1 up.
So for the uninitiated, the ball must be pushed out, stopped outside the circle, then brought back into the scoring circle before a shot at goal can be made. Only 5 defenders behind the line. And they can't run out, as they just did, until the ball moves. Rognoni ready to strike for Argentina. Aymar, Rognoni, crack, good save by the Japanese goalkeeper. And penalty corner again because she's obstructing the ball.
And an interesting variation there, went to the left of the battery, and there you see the shot on goal. And the goalkeeper obstructs there, so it's another penalty corner.
Japanese goalkeeper, Ri Tomazona. Direct shot again, exactly the same result. This time the goalkeeper allowed it to be played out. So well done by Ri Tomazona. Relatively young Tarazona, just 23 years old, the Japanese goalkeeper. Should be happy with that. 2 penalty corners saved.
She looks reasonably impressive. She was down very quickly, made the early save. I must say, though, that both teams are struggling on the penalty corners. The pushing out is very slow, and it's got a lot to do with the dry pitch. And they're not trapping the ball all well at the top of the circle, and the shots on goal are really slow.
Yes, there's nothing to say that you have to push the ball out either. You can hit it out. And it becomes a lot less controlled, doesn't it?
It's a lot less controlled and actually takes more time because the back stick going back on the hit and coming through the ball takes a lot longer than the drag push, and generally the runner out can be out a lot more quickly than they would on the push out.
Burkhardt. Komazawa closed it down. Just getting a stick on it. It's Nakagawa, or Komori rather. Pressure for Argentina. And the pressure's showing.
The Japanese are pushing up, they're not giving them any time. And the deep defenders, the halfbacks are panicking a little bit. Kato. Mura once again, unable to keep it in. Inside 5 minutes remaining. A goal apiece. Now, Aymar, always exciting to watch. Oneto. Aymar again will try to work the pass back. And again, that wasn't a bad pass. It just held up on the carpet because it's dry. It's really dried out and the ball's bobbling around. It's really slow. The players are struggling to get a handle on the ball, and hence a lot of turnovers, a lot of skill errors.
And for those who've just joined us, that is a factor of the very strong winds in Athens today. The pitch was, if anything, overwatered half an hour before the game, but it has dried up very, very quickly, within about 10 or 15 minutes of this game starting. you could start to see dry patches appear on the pitch. You won't see any now because the entire pitch is now dry. You can see the ball bobbling there as well. Well, you might have, except you're watching the substitutions, but the ball really is bopping around a bit now. Once again, Argentina come forward, looking for a netto. Was Soledad Garcia. Garcia once again. This is Margalot. And Arrondo getting turned around and obstructing, so Japan get the defensive free hit.
And you sense there's a bit of urgency now in the Argentinian lineup. They've realised that they can't just swan around, move the ball from side to side without any real purpose. The strikers have now started to run with a bit more intensity. They're trying to probe and go forward, and we might see a goal before half-time.
Rognoni. It's off the foot of Mariana Gonzalez. Kimura. Komazawa able to keep the ball in. Argentina get the push. Isega. Rognoni. Popping up the ball for Argentina was Gonzalez. Morimoto. Kimura. Quickly taken. Komazawa. Dispossessed illegally. Morimoto goes forward to Komazawa again. Burkhardt faces her. Miura, the captain. No urgency from the Japanese. They just take their time, wait for the appropriate gaps. And they need to get back. Coming forward through Arrondo. Gonzalez. The free hit.
Again, we see the example of double teaming, the Japanese getting around the player with the ball and not allowing them any time or space to either dribble around or find a player.
Same deal on Aymar, double teamed as soon as she got it. Toss over the top was aimed for Hamori, but cut out by Margalot relatively easily. Poor pass. Franco. Away from the sideline off Burkett. Japanese ball at the side. Morimoto. Morimoto with it again at the side. 35 seconds till half-time. Morimoto. Iwayo. Just popped up off the stick of Isega, so it's Japan's hit. Morimoto. Nakagawa. Miura. And again closed down by Burkett. Should have the free hit, and does. One last chance perhaps for Argentina. Stepnik, no last chance.
Turn to SBS as we open the door to a whole world of amazing cinema with some of the biggest titles from all around the globe.
We resume coverage with about 14 minutes to go. The score is 2-1 to Argentina. Let's go back to commentators Rochelle and David.
The ball was aimed for a net for Hernandez, I should say. Maria Hernandez. Played her 50th international, the 4-0 win that Argentina had over Spain 2 days ago. There's Di Giacomo, clever skills. Rognoni, long way up. The Japanese withstand the pressure once again.
You find Rognoni always lending in attack, especially in the second half. When the opposition starts to get tired, she starts to drift into the attacking area, overlap, and sometimes she even gets a shot on goal from the deep defensive position which she plays. She comes right the way up on the field, and I've seen her have shots on goal, so it won't be uncommon for her to have a shot today.
Luciana Aymar runs away from Iwayo. Neto made space on the left. Just looking for options, drags it inside Morimoto, and raised ball. Came off the Japanese stick, so it's an Argentine free hit. Giacomo. Isega has also come up from fullback. Well, they've got the sniff, haven't they, Argentina? Oh, it's deflected in. De Giacomo just aimed for a pass, and it's come off the stick of Yamamoto, I think. Really unfortunate for Japan, or Shea Kimura.
And that's what you would call an own goal. Not something you like to have said about you.
Oh, it was a poor trap, wasn't it?
She had her body facing the wrong way. If you see, watch the replay here. It was like she was in position to have a shot on goal, but she was actually trying to defend. And Kimura, she would be very disappointed with that. Needed to angle her body the other way so that the ball would deflect at least out to the top of the circle. But unfortunately, deflected it in, and really an own goal.
So it's gone down to De Giacomo. She gets the credit for it because she was the last attacker to touch it in the circle. And the late bloomer, who we just described, playing just her 27th game at 28 years of age, has just scored her 8th goal in international hockey. And almost an impossible task now. 2-1 down with a few minutes to go isn't too bad. 3-1 down suddenly seems like a mountain, doesn't it?
And it's really unfortunate because I think they've played particularly well. They've had a number of attacking opportunities. They just haven't been able to make the last pass into the circle. The defence has stood tall from Argentina, especially with Rognoni leading the way. And the Japanese, they certainly haven't been disgraced today.
Isega once again. Stepnik, who's been good today. Luciana Aymar, who always is. No options there, so she just holds it up. Turn a few people around a few times. Rognoni. She saw Gulia. Gulia had the right idea, which was to try to deflect it to Garcia. The breeze has really come up here, as you may be able to hear in the effects microphones. Wasn't a bad effort by Argentina. And the effect that's having, for those who are just joining us, is that it really dries out the pitch. You can just see the ball bobbling there, making it hard to trap like that. When the pitch is wet, the ball travels much more smoothly because there is less friction.
Those players from Pakistan and India, you would imagine this type of pitch would favour them. They're so used to playing on grass, and they're very good at trapping upright and little jinks over the stick. Not so good for teams who play a very low, flat, lying tackle type of game. The Japanese, I would have to say, have handled the conditions pretty well, but the Argentinians just too strong today.
Aymar. De Giacomo, credited with that last goal. Morimoto wins the free hit. Kimura, off whose stick it came. Far for Nakagawa. She gets it back though. This is Chiba, who's just come on for Japan. Dispossessed, Isega. Stepnik has held down the centre half position well today. Gulia. Outside her is De Giacomo. Isega again, the captain. De Giacomo. Isega runs on, happy to do so. Miura tips it out over the side. Argentina's ball. Arrondo waiting to come on. Chance again for Argentina. This is Garcia. Great save by the goalkeeper. Fabulous save, instinctive.
It was instinctive, but tremendous play by Garcia. Just had really great control and an early shot, and it was very good goalkeeping.
Hernandez. Stepnick. Keeps it in the attacking quarter, wins the free hit. Lynn Farrell from New Zealand, just asking her to wait until all players are retreated from the ball. Argentina spread it wide again. Burkett. It's Gulya. This is Burkett. Hernandez gets inside Yamamoto, works for the penalty corner and wins it. Well done.
I'm not sure about that penalty corner. The Japanese weren't too happy. I didn't see where the infringement, but on the replay we might be able to see something here. Hit the stick. Oh, I think that's a poor decision by Lynn Farrell. The foot of the Argentinian.
You get that occasionally. Well worked by Argentina once again. Last touch on it was by Garcia.
The Argentinians' confidence is building. Every player in it. You can see the bench there with Neto looking on. She's played her role today. You see that save again. Well done. Nice and low. Just guides it over the back line.
Still Argentina press forward. Stepnick. Hernandez. It's the better of Saito to win the free hit. Neymar will work for the penalty corner. Wins the free hit just outside. The lay-down tackle. Enough to stop, but not dispossess. Chiba. Pushed it away for Yamamoto. It's gone too far. They've conceded a corner.
The Japanese feeling the pinch now. Having really dominated this second half for about the first 10 minutes, the Argentinians have got on top, and the scoreline now 3-1. Argentina very confident. They've probed in attack probably for the last 5 minutes. A number of scoring opportunities.
It's Arrondo who scored the first goal of the game. It came in the 20th minute. With just under 6 minutes remaining. Shots on goal. Argentina 5 to Japan's just 2. Chiba hit her foot. Sega and Rognoni. Partners in crime in the back line. Their share it around. Margalot trots forward, takes it in the half. Garcia tried to deflect it back to Hernandez. The corner ball. Giacomo to take it. Neymar goes close to her, but well marked. Stepnick is the target outside the 25. Margalot loping up in support once again. And just misjudging the pass to Hernandez, who stood still rather than trotting forward herself.
Yeah, it's a bit of a misunderstanding there between Margalot and Hernandez. You see that often happen towards the end of the game when fatigue sets in.
Giacomo comes off, and Gonzalez goes back on for Argentina. That's for the last 5 minutes. Sega's long ball. Not to anyone in particular, just found some space. Mercedes Margalot, who's played all of this game, along with Isega and Rognoni and Stepnick, and the goalkeeper, Kaliska. Everybody else has been interchanged but them. Sergio Vigil, no real need to rotate his back line today. It's not oppressively hot. And frankly, they haven't been that troubled in the second half. It's Kimura. Kato. Iwayo. Stick check, but plays on. Miura, the captain. Monomoto wins the free hit. It's Nakagawa inside the circle, but just tries to win the free hit first. Cleared relatively easily in the end by Argentina. Good long ball. Akiko Katada on the sidelines for Japan. Hasn't seen any time today. Yamamoto at the side. Inside 3 minutes remaining. Can Argentina get another? Can Japan pull one back? Iwayo, check from behind by Vanina Oneto. Miura, his captain. Mori's hit, went to the opposition. Oneto, just take her time. There's the free hit for the stick check. Gonzalez rolls it once again to Oneto. Beats one. Can't beat the second and third. And away comes Iwayo with a touch of speed. Now Nakagawa, who's been quiet in the second half. Iwayo once again. Nakagawa. Ball deflected off an Argentine foot. Japan's free hit just outside the circle. Good opportunity for the Japanese now. Argentina back in numbers. 9 inside the circle. Nakagawa takes it away from the circle, trying to win another free hit, and does. They have Morimoto and Komori inside the circle. Argentina have many more.
And Rognoni's so good in that position, makes the intercept time and time again when the ball's hit into the circle. Reminiscent of Katie Allen, they're both very, very good in that position.
Nakagawa. Neymar for the free hit, doesn't need it, works it out. Stepnik, mistrap, but free. Margalot got the stick on it. Neymar will tidy up. 19 for Argentina is Marina Russo. On Neto, can she finish it off? Goalkeeper came forward. Well done to Ri Terrazono. The Japanese goalkeeper saw the danger, instinctively came out.
Terrazono did really well because Neto had pressure on her. She could only get a shot on reverse. As we speak, another chance goes Betty.
Has just come on. Hasn't spent much time on the pitch today. Have a look at this. This is great work by the goalkeeper. She saw exactly what Vanina Oneto was going to do. And it was a good move by Oneto too, wasn't it? Stop the ball dead and try to scoop it over the goalkeeper.
Yep, pitch is a bit bouncy. Hard to get underneath it when it's moving and bobbling. She stopped it, got underneath it. The goalkeeper was equal to the challenge.
So an exciting finish to what has been a game of contrasting styles.